Okay, we're back in open session at 8:13. And if Dana, could you please announce out of closed session?
All right, we're in closed session, item A. Public employee appointment resignation discussion. We have track and field stipend, Trinity Valley new hire Richard Gordon. Golf coach stipend, Hoopa High new hire Bradley Johnson. Winter stipend, Hoopa L new hire Aaron Reese. PBIS co-lead stipend, Hoopa L new hire Aaron Reese. PBIS co-lead stipend, Hoopa L new hire Brittany Marino. Instructional assistant severely handicapped classified Hoopa L new hire Shanti Humphrey. Mentor stipend, Hoopa L new hire Stephanie Sylvia. Senior class advisor stipend, Hoopa High new hire Heidi Jordan. Gardener maintenance classified MTO resignation Eric Loftus. Teacher certificated Hoopa L resignation Craig Edgar. Principal certificated Jack Norton, Wichita retirement, Jason Henderson. Motion by Colgrove, second by Jackson. It was unanimous. They're all approved. And on B, on closed session B, discipline release. These will all be taking place in open section, so you'll know what happens. And item C, nothing to report. Item D, nothing to report.
Okay, next we have Indian policies and procedures. Erica? You have a report?
Sure. I think that we submitted our board reports, but mostly since we do have so many parents here, we do have our next IPP and IPC meetings are gonna be on April 3rd, and there is a Zoom option. So I know we have a lot of parents and community members that traveled in today. But that is a meeting that everyone is welcome to, especially parents and families of Indian children. Our Title VI grant is gonna be due on May 10th of this year. And so we just submitted part 1 and we'll be waiting for part 2 to come out. But we are seeking nominations for chairperson for the Indian Parent Advisory Committee this school year. That will help us with our grant. We'll have a series of meetings between this month and May 10th. So please be on the lookout. There are notices here. Please help us spread the word and send them my way if you want to nominate someone else or nominate yourself. Definitely open to those as well. Yeah. And Impact Aid is in the works. We will have it very soon. Potentially at the next special board meeting, once that day is decided. So hopefully by the end of the month. Thank you.
Did I have anyone who wanted to comment on that report? On the Indian policies and procedures report?
5 o'clock meeting done? What time?
5:30.
Okay, next we have the consent agenda. And we have on the consent agenda is approval of commercial warrants, approval of superintendent's consent for Trinity Valley Elementary School boys basketball team to attend the JC tournament in Crescent City, California on March 1st, March 1st through 2nd, 2024. Do I hear a motion? Motion by trustee Colgrove, seconded by trustee McLaughlin to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? Oh, was it Jackson?
Yes.
Sorry. I could tell by that giggle that. Any opposition? No, hearing none, motion approved. On the action item agenda, the first action is to approve the interim, the second interim as positive. Do we have anyone who wants to speak about the second interim report other than Carmi? No, did you want to, do you have a report? that you'd like to make?
I can go over it.
Thank you.
Okay, we're presenting our second annual report as positive. So we are basing our assumptions on a point cheat sheet. So for our 2 years out, so we have to do two interims. That's to see where we are with our budget and how our expenditures are happening. With that, there's the governor puts out his budget for January revised. We take those numbers into consideration. The COLA for next year, so going into 2 years, our COLA next year is 0.76. So that is as of the date of the January 31st. With that COLA, there is talks with, just so you are aware, that there is talks of their COLA for next year. So this may change a bit when we do our budget adoption. In our 3rd year out, there was a 2.73 COLA. This year's COLA, just to give you what an example, was 8.22. So with the state budget, it is now dropped down to a 0.76. That's pretty low. However, we still have a positive budget. Based on our positive budget, it goes on a prior year average of 88, which was 867. So that takes into consideration the money funding that we get from the state through LCFF. The first page that we have is just a breakdown of the last 3 pages that you'll find in your document. And it's a breakdown of unrestricted. Our current revenue is at 20 million. Restricted is at 10 million. Combined, it's 30 million that we have in our budget. Our expenditures for unrestricted funds are 16 million. Our restricted is 16 million with a total of 33 million. So as you can, if you heard me correctly, we are deficit spending about 2.3 million currently. Moving ahead with that, and I would like to go to the last 3 sheets because it gives a really nice breakdown and it talks about what we have in our reserve, because a lot of people have comments in regards to our reserve. I'm going to explain a little bit about that reserve. So our reserve, our ending balance as of this year is $7 million, and leaving us a reserve of 26%, 26.8%. That is consists of our general fund, which is the 7 million out of our unrestricted. Also our special reserve, which is 1.6, leaving the 8.7. Our minimum we need to keep in reserve is 1.3 million. Now, keeping in mind that our 1 month's payroll is about $1 million. So just kind of in general, that's 4%. So having a 0.6% reserve, that's 8 months of payroll per se, paying our services and things of that nature. Again, we're deficit spending. So our expenditures and what we have budgeted exceed the revenue that we're actually receiving. Our ending balance helps then move across from year to year. With our reserve being as high as it is, because it's considered pretty high, that came from the 3 years that we have one-time funding. So we had a lot of one-time ESSER money, the COVID money when it came in. And we would take, it was under the recommendation of a superintendent that we would take some of our cost for, say, our social workers, our counselors, things that help, our positions that help in regarding student services during COVID. We offset those costs from our unrestricted and place them into the one-time fund, therefore freeing up our unrestricted. So carrying over in the next 3 years, it really bumped us up in our ending balance to where we are at today. With that, with no COLA next year, that's coming up, we're going to be able to maintain
what our current positions are. We do have one-time funds, and we're going to be talking about those that are, the positions are ending based on the one-time funding. Now, eventually there'll be discussion on bringing it back. The ending balance may absorb those positions that you may hear. That's going to be introduced on a resolution, and therefore having that ending balance help with those positions. And I'm really not sure what board it is. It's a positive budget. However, we are deficit spending by about 2.3 million this year.
Thank you,
In
Carmen.
your opinion, Carmen, what would you pinpoint your deficit spending in? I mean, if you have your opinion of where are you concerned with deficit spending? As you look at your reports,
Well,
is it staff related, is it maintenance related? If you pinpoint something in your opinion, I'm not
There's
pinning
nothing-
you down.
there's nothing really that I would pin down what is causing a deficit. It's our
It's just
overall-
happening.
it's happening. We have our positions, we have our services that we pay for.
Carmen, so.
Yeah, you're right.
Enrollment and attendance are huge issues with our deficit spending because we're still.
We're not receiving the revenue that would offset our actual costs that we have budgeted for our services, for our positions that we have in the district based on our ADA. You're absolutely right. Our ADA is really, really.
So, again, I'm sorry for the discussion further, but the board members have acknowledged attendance being one factor of this deficit. What are we doing in the district to remedy that attendance issue? As we know, the history of this district, we lost $1 million last year to attendance. So what are we doing to remedy this issue now? That's to them.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Matilton. We are working with all the staff to hopefully work on ADA. We've got, I know through Bupa Valley High School is really sending out texts. Scotty is working really hard to keep those absences excused, and I'm hoping that that's working, Scotty, but we have hopefully the staff and everybody is working together to try to make sure that students come to school. And that's where we're at right now, trying to entice our students to get back to school. And it's a job that we hope everyone is working on.
it is so a part also in regards to the ADA, we do have a large, I don't like the word, the encroachment into our special education. That's over $2 million that comes from unrestricted into that fund to take care of our students' needs. Based on state funding that doesn't provide 100% what needs in that area. And so we take care of that.
Thank you, Carmen.
Yes.
To prevent us from going till midnight, to dovetail this, we have a schools to community grant. We had the other presentation the last time I was here that was talking about some other monies. How is that having a positive impact on this deficit report? Is it going to remedy some of these deficits? We had a group presenting how they were going to help us. Jennifer, who was the group that came in, the American group that came in?
National Indian Education
Yes, so
Association.
is that grant going to help this deficit? Is it going to impact this deficit?
It's written to do that.
Good, that's what we're all.
And we also have a fully functioning SAR board again, that we haven't had for a few years now. And we have the ear of the judge.
So I would move to approve the 2023-2024 second budget.
I have a motion made by trustee Fogel, seconded by trustee McLaughlin to approve the 2023-2024 second interim budget as positive. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion pass. B is resolution 24-1, non-reelection of probationary certificated staff.
I would approve I would move to approve the resolution 2024 non-reelection of probationary certificated.
So if it's going to amend it.
Not always, and then-
Okay, I'm just remembering.
Yes.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah.
A motion made by trustee Colgrove, seconded by trustee Jackson to approve resolution 24-1, non-reelection of probationary certificated staff. All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, motion approved. C is resolution 2024-2, classified layoff reductions. And do I hear a motion to approve resolution 2024-2 with the striking of general education, Orleans Elementary, or is that the wrong one? Wellness outreach specialist and assistant safety officer.
I would move to approve resolution number 24-2, striking wellness outreach specialist and the assistant safety officer.
I have a motion by trustee Colgrove, seconded by trustee Bray to approve resolution 2024-2, classified layoff reductions with designated striking. All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, motion approved. D, resolution 2024-3, intention to reduce or discontinue certificated employees, parentheses, particular kinds of services, close friend, with the striking of general education, Orleans Elementary, and administrator, Jack Norton, Witch Tech Elementary. Okay, do I hear a motion?
1 second.
I have a motion made by trustee Jackson, seconded by trustee McLaughlin to approve resolution 2024-3, intention to reduce or discontinue certificated employees. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion approved. The next is approval of the warrant distribution authorization forms 23-/24. Do I have any public comment on E? I have a motion made by trustee Colgrove, seconded by trustee Dre to approve the warrant distribution authorization forms 23/24. All in favor? Opposed? Motion approved. F is approval of the surplus work order request to sell iPads to Acorn Wireless. Is he here? No.
So these are our older equipment that they're interested in having.
I have a question about that.
What?
So how old are these right now?
I don't know exactly.
They're out of date from the contract that we have with them to update the software. So they're essentially obsolete to us. And
What is Acorn Wireless want them for?
I couldn't tell you that much.
They can probably get a buyback deal for them as a tech group, as a tech entity.
Yeah.
So they can probably, they have programs in place where they can turn over a profit on that.
And
They're essentially useless.
I don't
to
know
us.
what Rico was gonna say, because he was sitting here earlier. He said they're gonna give them away to the community.
How about, I mean, okay, so we couldn't do that for our own students?
Yeah.
Well, they've got, our students have updated
Yeah, I'm confused about that, if they're essentially obsolete.
Once they're obsolete, then, and you can't get. new
They're obsolete for the
software
software,
them.
the license that we have,
They're
they still are
fully-
functioning
But they're
for
not obsolete.
other things.
Yeah, so I wish you were here.
We didn't pay for them.
Table it. Yeah, well, you want, if there were questions, we'll table this, Martha?
Yeah.
Okay, let's table this till the next meeting. Yeah, because I need. Go ahead, Rooney.
For item 9D.
9B, okay?
9D, the RIF for certificated staff. So with the reduction of the math position at Viva High, the trickle down effect, what's the plan for the music program at Viva High?
It would be in effect and we would assign the 3 periods of math to a teacher at CJ who has that credential to come over and teach 3 periods at the high school.
So wouldn't there need to be a RIF for 0.5 of a CJ position then? Teaching position, because their teaching staff would end up being reduced by 0.5.
Perhaps.
I mean, we taught 3 classes of it.
No, he's a full-time teacher over there. Nobody's picking it. That would be a point that we could work on, but that was the plan. You asked what the plan was.
Okay.
Okay. Meeting's adjourned. 8:34.